definitely is a love letter to the old school JRPGs, particularly Chrono Trigger. Okay, and now I'd like to talk about another demo that I played recently. I'd like to talk about Sea of Stars. Now, I saw this game multiple times over the past year or so, or the last 6 months or something like that. And a lot of it looked really good. I was actually really taken aback at how densely detailed the pixel art was. I am a bit of a sucker for the pixel art aesthetic, and I played the demo, and the demo didn't have as much content, but it was a pretty substantial demo. You know, um, one of the things that really stood out to me was, again, the pixel art, the really gorgeous music, and overall just a great feeling experience. It definitely is a love letter to the old school JRPGs, particularly Chrono Trigger. I believe that one of the old school Japanese role-playing game composers, he's also working on this game. His name slips me at this point in time, but the game features a lot of characters, and a lot of these side characters have very distinct portraits, and they have very distinct names, and they all speak in a very specific manner. And it does make it feel pretty large and grandiose with all of these characters playing off each other, and it feels kind of like a real quest. You're on to something, you're trying to truly discover something new. So I'd admit that the plot was kind of thin in the demo, but I think there was enough there that it got me really excited, particularly when you go to the caverns and there was a lot of puzzles and you had to solve these puzzles in a specific order. Now the game doesn't handhold you, but the levels are designed in such a fantastic way that you intuitively know what the next thing to do is. And I really love level design. Now those are very hard level designs to do. And I actually really like the cavern areas. The combat is a very, very different thing. It is, I can only describe it as an active combat system where you issue commands, but then you are able to respond in an appropriate fashion. You are able to deflect enemy projectiles. You're able to send out a projectile, and then when it deflects back, it hits the enemy and it returns to you. You're able to deflect it to hit another enemy, and so on and so on. And it is really only limited by your reaction time, and that's a really great way to keep users engaged in what you're playing. That was a honestly stroke of genius, and I can't remember if anybody else has done that, but I personally love the way they did that. The combat, as I said, was very nice. I really like the understated music. It knows when to be epic, it knows when to be tense, it knows how to really suck you into the game. And as I said, the plot is a little finicky on this one. You go to a small town you're trying to get off of the island or something. Honestly, I don't really remember. But you meet a pirate, and that pirate then sends you to a cavern, and you go into the cavern, and that's where the most of the demo is, and that's what you do there at the demo. You do get to explore the city, and I just want to really once again overstate how important this pixel art is, how gorgeous it looks, how gorgeous it feels. There's a couple elements here and there that makes it look a little 3D, like if it was rendered in 3D, or if they did some kind of modification in shaders or something of the sort. But it gives a good example of what towns could be in the main game, although I imagine much more expansive. You can swim in this as well. I completely forgot about that. If you enter the water, you can swim and you can explore the water areas. So I imagine that there'll also be a lot of stuff to do regarding in the water as well. And this game is just so beautiful, and there's a lot of care and love that went into this. I know I say that a lot, but you can really tell it, especially with some of the more recent games. especially the more indie ones. A lot of work has been really put into making it better than what we had before. I have to say, one of the things that I really do like is the user interface and user experience. Absolutely amazing. Everything is so streamlined. You can read everything so clearly. There aren't any like overcomplicated menus or anything like that. And honestly, that's a pretty big deal for me. A lot of games that I've been playing recently has tons of menus, and it's a constant weigh on your mental state. You're trying to play the game, but you have to shift through like 12 different menu items. But this game seems to have everything just streamlined, and I really do enjoy that. The inventory system is a bit limited, but I would just stop. I think that might be how it will be in the final game. But again, this is just a demo, and I'll have to really sit down with the main game when it is released. I think it's going to be released later this year. And so I'm really looking forward to this game. I think that the game did a lot of things really well. It blended seamlessly together. Everything, it kind of worked. I say that abstractively all of the time, but, it does work really well. It does feel good. Again, I'm saying very abstract things. Once you get in, it's a demo, it's a Nintendo Switch. I believe there's a port on the PC as well on Steam. Go and play this demo. You'll not be disappointed. It is a fun, fantastic, it's clearly a love letter to the old school JRPGs. And honestly, amazing work by these developers. I am very excited to see what is going to come out of this and how they're going to push the rest of the game. I think this game might be a hidden gem. Will it be the next Chrono Trigger? That's saying a lot. Let's just get it off the finish line first, and then we'll see what happens. Go and give it a shot. It's really fun. It's really interesting. There's a lot of crafting mechanics. There's a lot of gathering mechanics. There's a lot of fishing mechanics. Everything that you would expect in a JRPG. I have one more thing to say about Sea of Stars. I do not like the fishing mechanic. It sucks. I don't know how it works. Please make a proper tutorial. I don't know how it works. Thank you very much. And that's it for today. Thank you everyone for listening. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you very much. Please feel free to drop your comments and let me know what your thoughts are. Also, what else should I cover? If you can, please subscribe. And I also have a Patreon if you'd like to help support me. Maybe get some behind the scenes stuff as well. I'll be working on all of that. Thank you all very much for listening. The Void called, and you answered.